Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I apologize for the lack of intro, but I forgot to film my intro before I took off my makeup. But this video will be a tutorial for the eye look seen here. I did the tutorial in two parts. The first part will just be the eyeshadow. The second part will be my foundation application. And it will be a talk through, and we'll get started right now. Alright, I already prepped and primed my skin, and now I'm going to apply the e.l.f. Gel eyeliner as my base. It does come with a little like angled brush, but I lost mine, so I'm just using my fingers. You don't have to be too precise, but make sure you don't get too much above your crease. If you do get it into the crease, that's fine. Just be sure to blend it out a little bit. But you want the most color to be on your eyelid, and you want a thin layer. So just kind of blend it out until you get a nice, even, thin layer. Alright, now I'm going to take my Milani Eyeshine Foil palette, and I'm going to take it in the color O2 Rome. And from that palette, I'm taking the second to darkest purple shade, and I'm going to apply that to my eyelid using my e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush. It's kind of wide, so you get a lot of product at once. It's really good for putting color all over the lid. As you can see here, I'm kind of just dabbing and moving, dabbing and moving. I'm not really sweeping because I do want to kind of build up the layer. So just dab and move. And just from like that couple of layers, you could see that it has that nice foily, crinkly effect that I really like. Some people like to do one eye completely and then start on the other eye. I like to go back and forth. It's just because it helps me visualize if I'm actually kind of doing both things to both eyes. The same thing to both eyes. Wow, I can't talk today, guys. So you want to work your way into the crease a little bit. You don't want to go too much above the crease. But if you do get a little bit above the crease, it's fine because we're going to blend it out anyway. You just want to make sure your whole eyelid is coated. Here I'm taking my e.l.f. contour brush, and I'm going to apply my transition color, which is Max Foley.
If I'm not the one, then I'm the best mistake you
ever. It is a satin finish, and it is like a medium brown. Alright, if you're lighter, you may want to use something lighter than Foley, but Foley works for a lot of people. As you can see here, I started at the outer V, and I concentrated most of the color there. So as I worked my way towards the inner eyelid, I took off a lot of pressure off the brush so I could get less of a sweep of color. So basically in the outer V, you want the darkest color, and then you want it to fade as you work your way towards the inner corner of your eye. Not only am I moving it across the eyelid, I'm also moving it up. So I want it to get to a point where it's blending with the highlight of my under my eyebrow. I'm so like tempted to say underbrow. I don't know why. Alright, so I'm doing the same thing to the other eye. And you know, you can just kind of eyeball it to see when you basically have the same effect for both eyes. Alright, from the palette, I'm going to use the lightest shade, and I'm going to apply that using a short, dense eyeshadow brush. The eyeshadow brush I'm going to show you is actually from Sephora, but I got it years ago, and it was a double-ended brush, as you can see. So I don't know what is the alternative because it was a limited edition brush, but any kind of short, dense eyeshadow brush that you have in your collection will work. As you can see, that this color I picked up is the least pigmented. It's like barely showing up, and I'm really getting a fair amount of product on my brush. But we don't want something that's super exaggerated. We just want a lighter color to brighten up that inner corner of our eye. Right now I'm going to pick up my Sephora Basic Instinct Palette, which is so upside down. And from that one, I'm going to pick up the color Deep Burgundy. I know that it looks black, so that is definitely much of a misnomer. But apparently, if you look, it has very, very, very fine deep burgundy glitter. And I guess that's where the name comes from. But on most people, it just shows up as a glittery, soft black color. And I'm using the other end of the brush I had used previously, and then this is a softer, fluffier side. And I'm using a fluffy brush as opposed to a more angled brush because I don't want a super dark, precise color. I want more of a sweep of darkness in the outer V, because we will be layering this color, so you'll see in the next step. So basically just get most of the color on the outer V. You don't want to go too much across the eyelid. Like I'm stopping halfway across the lid. I'm not bringing that dark color all the way across the whole lid. I am then going to use the darkest purple in the palette, in the Milani Eyeshine palette, and I'm going to use the same C brush I had originally started with, and I'm going to apply that over any area I had used the deep burgundy. That's what I meant by layering. So when we're mixing the deep purple with the deep burgundy, we get this nice kind of gradient effect, and it really helps for the deep purple color to stand out a little bit more. Just as we did with the deep burgundy, we're not taking it all the way across the lid, we're stopping halfway, so most of the color is concentrated on the outer V, and we're really working it into that crease. I'm also going to take that same color and bring it down so we could line our lower lash line. The amount of color you use is up to you. You may want the purple to be more pronounced, so you may layer it up, but I kind of just want a nice sweep of color so the color doesn't look like it just stops. I'm going to pick up that same light shade using my C brush once again, and this is that light shade that didn't really show up the first time when we used it in our inner corner, and I'm going to apply it to the outer corner, to the inner corner, but on the lower lash line. For some reason, I don't know if I happen to pick up more product or whatever, but it's actually showing up a lot more here, but it did get kind of messy, as you can see, as I'm trying to correct that. Alright, I'm picking up that same deep burgundy color, and I am using that to kind of really smoke out the lower lash line. Oh yeah, to smoke it out, I use the contour brush. Alright, now I'm using a cleaned e.l.f. blending brush, and I'm blending everything together. You just blend until you feel like you have just one uniform sweep of color. Now I'm going to use my eyeliner. I'm using the e.l.f. Essential Liquid Eyeliner, and I want a really thin line. I'm almost lining my eyelashes, as you can see, because I don't want that line to be pronounced. I want really the eyeshadow to be the star. I apologize for how washed out I look, but as you can tell, I'm using my camera as my mirror, so when I get close, the flash really kind of washes everything out. Then I'm going to use my Liquid Lime Blast from CoverGirl, which, as you can tell, I hate because it smudges so badly. So you definitely have to set this with an eyeshadow, which I'm going to do a little bit later on in this video. But it does have great color payout. It's a really dark color, which sometimes you don't get from drugstore foundations. It's a really nicely pigmented black, almost coal color. I'm going to line that with the deep burgundy color once again from my Basic Instincts palette. My voice is breaking up. Okay, and here we go. I'm setting it with my, what is that? That looks like the short end of my double-ended brush. Where is it? No, sorry, it is my contour brush from e.l.f. Right now we're going to use my mascara. This is just a sample size from Sephora of the Buxom Long and Strong mascara, and it is a really lengthening mascara. It just lengthens, defines, and really separates. It's nothing special, but as you can tell, I am getting length from the side profile I'm showing you right now. And it really, if you just want really natural length and you want something that is not clumping whatsoever, this is the mascara for you. And because the brush is so small, you can really use it to coat your lower lashes, as you can see me doing right here. There you go. You can really tell my lower lashes are very up and prominent, and I really like that. Make sure to get all your eyelashes. We're trying to get the inner ones. Then I'm going with the big guns, which is my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'm going to use that for more length, definitely a lot more volume, and a lot more thickness, because the Buxom mascara does not provide any volume whatsoever. So if you want a more false or more plush looking lashes, you definitely have to use something like the Better Than Sex mascara. How many coats and how many times you go over your eyelashes is up to you. I like to go over it many a times, but always making sure to not to kind of not let it clump, so I have to work fast. Okay, that is it for me, guys. I hope you enjoy watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and stay tuned for the next part, which is the foundation application.